Welcome back to SCP Files with Flutters. Today we got some more updated information on SCP-2445 and 2444. Today we got quite a bit of information to go over, so we'll have to split this tape into another segment. But today we are interviewing what we've discovered recently due to the staff incident and termination. Let's start off with SCP-2445. Some image evidence of SCP-2445 after he finally committed to letting us take him, which was kind of hard due to some weird technological effect. Some devices won't allow photographic or video evidence of SCP-244 and 2445. But we've managed to have an embarrassing app help us recreate what SCP-2445 and 244 look like. Here are the photos now. We'll start off with SCP-2445, which has been re-nicknamed the Speed Angel due to some shocking discoveries and its capabilities. One of our staff, who will not be named, has somehow petitioned for immediate termination under irregular circumstances. None of the staff knew until the upper class found out about the irregular authorization for SCP-173 to terminate SCP-2445. For those who have not remembered, SCP-173 is a concrete-like figure statue with a face painted on it, and when not viewed from any human beings or blinked, will move at high rapid speed to snap the nearest lifeform's neck, causing an instant death. Only looking at SCP-173 will keep it immobile, but this was actually shocking the development. Once we started the test, we witnessed SCP-2445 blinking and SCP-173 barely moving, like a smidge, like 2 inches. This was shocking because the movement speed did not match up with any previous data of SCP-173. But then staff started to realize something was off. Once again, when they looked away, SCP-2445 was on the other side of SCP-173, who was on the opposite side of the room. Every time the staff member blinked or the professors were trying to take notes, they keep appearing in different parts of the room, quaintly, like if they were playing a game of cat and mouse. Somehow, once we started to end the test, the higher up caught on to the action and the person behind this test. But at the same time, they've gotten valuable information. They reviewed the footage that somehow managed to catch SCP-2445 in action, but that's about it. We're explaining what they caught on the footage. After going over the footage, we saw SCP-2445 barely walking away from SCP-173, which was moving at its top speed. It appears SCP-2445 is extremely faster than SCP-173 and was just toying with 173. After we managed to get 244 out, we asked him what's his top speed. He shrugged. He said, "I just moved as fast as I can," which was basically walking for me at times, but he did not give us a straight answer. Keep in mind, we lowered the footage speed to the lowest settings we can. Anything moving faster than that at that speed will have to be faster than blinking, which was quite shocking. But at the same time, he says, "Well, I don't know. My speed changes from time to time depending on how fast I want to go. And After I read a file on SCP-173, I just imagined trying to walk as fast as possible because I didn't know how fast SCP-173 was. Replied SCP-2445. We've also got some developing footage of what we've witnessed seem to be an incident with SCP-2445, or what was soon called SCP-2446, depending on what the staff have seen on the footage. We're still encrypting it, but lately we've had an incident over 50 deaths and staff and security members in one day, and it all seems to tie up to SCP-2445, or at least from what the staff say. But SCP-2444 says otherwise. But that's a story for another time. We got some juicy info on SCP-2444. Let's bring up his photo now. After the incident, some memories were starting to come back to SCP-2447. 2447 refused to let anyone else except someone he can trust, and he seemed to find the higher-ups, the people in charge of the Foundation. He trusted them enough to tell them what he remembers and what he knows of SCP-2446. Keep in mind, this is highly classified and gets pretty damn dark, and not sure if any users can handle this kind of... Anyways, SCP-2447 begins with what he last remembers and the first appearance of SCP-2446. For starters, his father was a complete monster. He had no sympathy for the two kids, and is probably remembers now that he's responsible for the death of their mother, and probably why they might be like this. They don't know why they're like this, but they feel he had something involved with what they have become. But what he remembers was he would constantly torture SCP-2445 relentlessly, without reason, just because he was such a kind-hearted. He considered him weak, pathetic, too kind to everybody, couldn't even hurt a fly. He considered people like those unfit to live, which pissed me off so much, stated SCP-2447. As he started to grab his hands, he started to shake, as marks started to appear on his body, resembling of abusement, torture, and even bandaged wounds. He starts to remember all the pain he's caused them, some too hard to mention, but he does mention a few of them. Laceration, bruises, cuts, so many to count, even hunger. He treated them like animals. And the worst part was, they couldn't die. One time he tied them up by the neck and hung them just for disobeying an order. It only took a day for them to come back to life. They've grown in immortality, which was worse for them, meaning they can't end their suffering of the hands of this man. But nothing compared to how SCP-2447 has been treated by him. He despised my brother, stated SCP-2445, with every fiber of his body. Each day, I couldn't do anything to stop him. I was weak, like he said. I didn't have the power I had until now. I was weak back then. But he will always remember the screams of his brother, crying for him to stop. He felt shame. I felt shame, said SCP-2445, for being weak, for not being able to help my little brother. He's done so much to him, yet he's so kind to everybody. SCP-2445 started to actually cry, show sadness, unlike his normal behavior. But then he said what you guys call SCP-2446 had shown up and changed our lives. It was the day we were set free. But the day my brother was afraid of himself. He tries to be nice to everyone to make up for what he's done. Because like I said SCP-2445, he will never kill anybody. He's too kind for that. But that was until SCP-2446 first appeared and things changed him. One night, Father was about to hang and shoot SCP-2447 again, but this time, said SCP-2445, he tried to stop him, and as a result, the man backhanded him and pointed the gun at him, shot him a few times. As SCP-2447 seen his big brother cry in pain, he started to turn black. His wings turned black. His teeth sharpened. He felt something was changing in him. He saw SCP-2447 turn into SCP-2446, which he said called him a fallen angel, but he was different from an angel of any kind. SCP-2445 said he's seen him tackle Father and start ripping into his guts, pinning him to the ground and roaring in such anger and hatred. He's seen such fury in his brother's eyes as he watched as he tore the man's head clean off, but continued to maul at the body until there was nothing left but a bloody pile. He was just panting, crying, and soon after a certain amount of hour, he turned back into SCP-2447. Soon, his brother was there staring at the blood on his hands. And after SCP-2447 looked on the mess he's done, he started having a panic attack. He was freaking out. He was panting heavily and his eyes were shocked as he was curled in the ball crying his eyes out as he actually took a human life. SCP-2447 never showed any harm to anyone. Even if they tortured him, he would not dare harm them. But he just seen him, or he saw blood done by his own hands. It fills him with guilt to this day. And around this time, their powers started to grow into what they are now. But from what SCP-2445 said, he's haunted by the memory of the life he took and tries everything to make up for what he's done. Even if his father was a monster, he wouldn't have thought of killing him, because he was family. That's how kind he is. But he feels guilt every day, knowing the fact that he took a man's life. But from that day, SCP-2446 rarely appears. And all we know is he only appeared when SCP-2445 was in danger. And that's about it.